Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And off we go from Seattle. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there, Hal. Check 24, check 24.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. He finds some open field here. Accelerating, and off he goes. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. A huge play there right off the bat. 68 yards on the ground. Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a first-and-goal situation.
Check. Fresh now.
Yes, guys, 4 down.
Alert 3.
Hey, 0. Tempo.
Here's Wilson. He'll find Valor out of the backfield. Only a yard in the completion. It's second and goal.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it, but he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put in.
Yeah, didn't get the big. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Seahawks take the ball down the field and score on the opening drive. 3 plays already in the end zone. That was quick.
We always talk about offenses understanding what they want to do before they go into a game, and they practice it. They have their script and the plays they want to open with. But defenses aren't just reactive. They have their own ideas as well. These ideas didn't get implemented very well. 3 plays and a touchdown already scored against them.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
I'm going back to you.
Jackson. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on 2nd down.
Now 2nd and 10 at the 25-yard line.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Jackson now, throwing again. He's got his man, it's Andrews. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 22 yards there, a first down. Mark Andrews continuing his great start to the season with 6 receptions for 99 yards in Week 6. And he's really become Lamar Jackson's go-to guy, leading Baltimore in targets, receptions, and receiving yards. And he's tied for the team lead in receiving touchdowns. And his 34 receptions and 3 touchdowns, that matches his totals from all of 2018. And right now we're only through 6 games. Throwing now, Jackson on first down. That's into the hands of the tight end, Boyle. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Jackson. Past the 20. And they will finally run him down, but not until he brings this one all the way back down inside the 10-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I... lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Suddenly, it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. They run it with Carson, and he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. Carson, who was a 1,000-yard rusher a season ago, has picked up the pace this year after a slow start. 3 straight 100-yard games. Most recently, Week 6, 124 yards, and the game-winning score in the 4-point win over Cleveland on the road.
48 to Mike. I'm coming for you. You mine.
On 2nd and goal, Wilson, and this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the former Husky, Marcus Peters.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 to score as they start 1st and 10. On 1st down, nothing opening up really on the running play. Give him maybe a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down with a sack and Ziggy onside.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall, that they can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4. I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you over. Right there, 54, right there, 54 Mike.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Snead's got it. Give him 19 on the play, but they will still come up a bit short. And now it's 4th down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. And in their own territory, needing only a few inches, they're going to line up to go for this thing on 4th down. And he's going to get the 1st down here as he's taken down at the 22. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th.
Let's go. 50 takes the outlaw. 54. You're not ready. You're not ready.
This time, Jackson will throw it. Dancing to his left. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds.
Okay, he's not going to get the 1st down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Here we go. Set. 50 to Mike. That's what I do. Order. Mike's 50. Mike's 50. He's tired of you. Hey, check Mike 50.
To throw again on 2nd down. Jackson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
I'm coming after you. Mike 50.
Jackson looking to throw on 3rd. Flushed out right. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's fourth. So in their own territory, but they only need a few inches, so they're going to opt to go for this thing. We'll see. Maybe a surprise pass or run. What will they do? We're about to find out. Fourth down. Here's Jackson. And an alley to run. There he goes, right side. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. And this defense looking like they have come to play the pick six, and just like that, it's 13-0 early on.
Well, go back with me to our training camp visits. What do we hear during these drills? Pass. Ball's in the air.
And then my favorite.
Oski, that's the interception. That means everybody finds someone to block them legally, stay on your feet, and they get it done. Touchdown.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And it's now 14-0. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Ravens take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 26-yard line.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2, as they're looking at a 2nd down and 9 to go. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. To throw is Jackson. Short throw underneath to Hurst. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more. And on 3rd and 3, they decided to go with a dime package. Yeah. 6 DBs.
Yeah, you're right. They've got 6 out there. Now Jackson. He's going to find his tight end, Boyle. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
And that one was a lot of fun right there, because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. On 2nd down, Ingram. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
The Ravens on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Jackson now. To Boyle here over the middle. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion.
Here we go. Get that quarterback and all coach.
They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. All right, CD, let's have a little fun. Now that we're into October, I'm going to give you some AFC teams. You tell me quickly, contender or pretender. You ready?
Yes, let's do it.
All right, let's start in the East. Buffalo.
Contender for a wild card spot.
Okay, how about the Chargers?
Pretender.
AFC North, the Steelers.
Contender because the AFC North is a jumble.
Okay, and then lastly, let's go to the South, Jacksonville.
Pretender. Houston now in control.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Throwing again on second down. Wilson. This complete to Lockett. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. That catch certainly easier than the one Tyler Lockett made in the back left corner of the end zone in the Thursday night win over the Rams in Week 5. My goodness, that was incredible. In fact, the advance, Tyler Lockett, and all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Tyler Lockett, 61 yards. Yeah, the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. And sometimes those slants, they can be so tough to defend after the catch. It just happens so quickly.
And really, what gets set up there is how quickly everything happens. Ball's out of the hands of the passer in a hurry, and he just takes it and goes.
And he went all the way into the end zone. Myers connects on the PAT, and it's now 21-0. The touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
You ain't going nowhere.
Now it's Jackson. This one complete to Ingram. And he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Now it's Jackson. And that is incomplete. Normally I'd say this will lead to a punt attempt, but this offense already shown in the first half that they'll go for it on 4th down.
Well, they should have already said punt it, punt it. Head coach should have already made that decision.
So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. Now it's Lockett. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. Well, the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. On first down, Carson. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
Let's get it.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Chris Wormley, he's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here.
Hey, let's get there.
Check 50, check 50.
57's Mike. Mike 57.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He's going to loft one deep. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former Husky, Marcus Peters. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And this, you'd hate to say that a drive in the first half must end in points, but you're down 21-0. They're going to have to get something going fairly quickly.
I would agree totally with that because if you're going to mount the comeback, it's going to have to come in bits and pieces. It doesn't just all come at one time, right? We haven't seen anything more than a 6-point touchdown ever in this game, right? So that's how it has to be done. Get points on the board now. Start your comeback, but you're exactly right. Let's get it going right here in this spot.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes us 2nd and 9.
That's it. 54's Mike. 54's Mike. Check.
Jackson stepping up. He'll try and run. And he'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
A gain of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down.
Ready. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Hey, watch your truck. Watch the shooter. Mike 54. Mike 54. Mike 54. Watch the run. Watch the run.
3rd and 2. Here's Jackson. He gets it to Brown. Complete. And he will be knocked down hard, but he will have the first down. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
Let's go.
At their own 17-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw is Jackson. To throw again. He's got a first down and more past the 30. And finally brought down at the 34-yard line. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Mike, 54. I know he ain't got it.
From the gun, it's Jackson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Trey Flowers picks it, and he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Run left, run left. Spot that. Hey, easy.
After the interception, here's Wilson. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal.
1st down and goal to go.
Coming to you.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal.
Watch the pass.
Here's Wilson to throw. Being chased out left. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal?
Three down.
This is Carson. And here he'll get it down to the 7. A good job there defensively to stop him for a gain of just 4, and that'll bring up 4th and goal.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
The offense stays out there. A big challenge here from this far back, but they're going for it on 4th and goal. They're going on 4th down. It's Wilson. And they're going to try the screen. It's complete. A great open field tackle is going to stop him shy of the goal line. They get the completion but cannot push forward into the end zone, and that will force a turnover on downs. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Check Mike.
Jackson now down around his goal line. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. It's complete to Snead. And he is going to have the first down as he gets this up to his own 11. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Out from the shadows of their goal line, here's 1st and 10 from the 11.
Watch twist, watch twist, watch twist, 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 twist. 81.
From the gun, Jackson. He's got his man, it's Andrews. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup. They'll run on first down. Ingram, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
It's 2nd and 8 at the 30.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Double tight, guys, double tight. Move, move. Check, check. Hey, now look at that. Hey, we got Mike 50, Mike 50, huh? Watch the curl, watch the curl, watch the curl.
Jackson. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Ezekiel onside picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Throwing is Jackson. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Jackson and the offense come up 1st and 10. And he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive. They go play action now. Jackson steps away to his left. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first.
First down, Ravens.
Here we go, here we go. Let's go. Watch the run. Let's go. 59, 50.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Jamar Taylor. He's at the 40, 20, 10, 5. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
The extra point now coming from Myers. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one. We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one, a gain of 20 and a first down.
Ready? Hey, 50. 50's the mic. 50's the mic. Nice, sweetheart.
Now Jackson on first down. Over the middle, complete. It's Andrews. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
This pass complete. Jackson finding Andrews. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 38-yard line.
Check 31, check 36. Mike's 50, Mike's 50.
Jackson on first down. A short throw caught by Andrews. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Slow. Mike's 50. Mike's 50. You can't block me. You can't block me. You can't block me. Mike's 50. Mike's 50. Watch, you're ready.
Looking to throw again on second down. Jackson. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Ziggy Ansah getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens.
Mike's 50. Mike's 50. Let's get the ball.
There's Jackson on 3rd and long. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Here's Sam Cook now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And that had far too much air under it. It's out of the back of the end zone, and the football will come out to the 20-yard line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. 11 yards there, 1st down. Now it's Wilson, eluding the pressure right. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a 1st down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead will swell by 1 more. After the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal.
And my goodness, another interception. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And what a return as he brings this all the way back down to the 20-yard line. How about one last great play defensively, and that should, for all intents and purposes, finish off this shutout.
That's as good a defensive performance as we've seen in a long, long time. And I know as a team they will celebrate, but I will guarantee you the defensive guys, they'll get together somewhere and have their own private celebration. A shutout, that's something to be cherished.
You got nothing today. You got nothing.
Wilson wants to throw it. And that one drops to the ground. Incomplete. Clock stops here just inside of 20 seconds, 19 left. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Intended for David Moore. Incomplete. Brings up third down and 10.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is third and long. To throw is Wilson. He's got Lockett. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. And they just took a timeout with 2 seconds to go. This one obviously decided. Not sure they needed to take it, but we'll take it with them. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on first and goal. Wilson will throw again. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
Now the final act of this victory, the extra point. It's up and good, and they add one more to what will wind up a fairly lopsided victory. So we had action to the very end of this one, the score on the final play that they didn't need to have. They didn't just run out the clock, though. They added to their final total.
Played it all the way to the end, and you know some coaches preach that and tell their teams, that's what I want all the time, and they feel like if they don't do it themselves, they're not living up to the message that they're sending out.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on ESPN.